I wanted to talk to you guys today about a few things that I see a lot in Texarkana and our region in general when I'm on roofs and I'm inspecting roofs, and talk about a couple of different products that I see and whether they're being used properly or whether they're not being used properly. 3-tab shingles, like this right here, are the cheapest shingle product that you can put on your roof. You can see how floppy that is and how flimsy that is. With the weather that we get here in Texarkana with extreme heat in the summertime and pretty extreme colds in the wintertime, as far as life expectancy of that product's probably about 15 years. You may get a little bit more depending on if your house has shade coverage or things like that. If you have a 3-tab roof, there's nothing wrong with that if you're paying for a 3-tab roof. But what I see around here a lot of times is homeowners will pay for an upgraded roof. They'll pay for an architectural shingle roof, which is like this, has a lot longer life expectancy. You can tell that's not as flimsy as the 3-tab roof. This is an upgrade. It costs more than that. But what I'm seeing pretty regularly when I'm out on roofs is I'm seeing people paid for this. The proper way to cap a roof with this is with what's called a hip and ridge shingle like this. This product matches an architectural shingle as far as quality and life expectancy goes. If you're paying for an architectural shingle, you should get an actual hip and ridge shingle for the ridge cap. This will wear and age at the same rate as your architectural shingle roof. But what I see here in Texarkana, even from the big names in roofing, are they put an upgraded architectural shingle roof on a house, but they use a cut 3-tab shingle. They take this shingle, they cut it into 3 pieces like this, and they use that to cap the ridge of your home. And why that matters to you is this shingle's got a 30-year life expectancy. This 3-tab's got a 15, maybe 20-year life expectancy. So what you end up getting is a roof where the field will age at one rate, and while that's still in good condition, the hip and ridge will be aged to a point where all the granules have come off, it's blistered, it's falling apart, it's cracking. And why that matters is if you're paying for this upgrade, you should automatically be getting this upgrade, right? The other thing I see is homeowners buying that and they're not getting proper starter shingle around the edges of their home. So a starter strip shingle is a shingle like this one that has a glue strip all the way around the edge of it. When this goes on your roof, it's stuck out at the very edge of your eaves, it's stuck out at the very edge of your rakes, and it's nailed down. Well, when you come back with your normal shingle and you lay that on there, what it does is when it heats up in the summertime or when we get a warm day, it glues down the edge of that shingle at the very edge of your roof. Keeps wind from being able to get under there and grab that and tear that off of your roof, right? With our Atlas shingles, they're rated up to 130 mile an hour wind rating. And they're able to be rated like that because we use this proper starter strip. At the same time, a lot of the companies that I was talking about earlier, I go out and I see that they're also using a 3-tab shingle for their starter strip. And so like I showed you on this one here, on this product, the glue strip's out at the very edge of the roof. On this product, the glue strip is 6 inches from the edge of the roof. When they install this shingle on top of it, it's not glued out here at the very edge. It's glued 6 inches from the edge, which still allows wind to grab it, still can allow wind to rip that off your roof. I was on a roof a few weeks ago over in Vivian, Louisiana that had that exact same thing happen. Roof was 1.5 years, 2 years old. Roof looked spectacular. There was almost 1.5 squares of shingles blown off the end of that house that we had to go back and repair because the roofer that did the job like that. He retired, so the warranty they got from him was null and void at that point. So the homeowner paid us to come out and fix it. Just like I was talking about the hip and ridge and the 3-tab shingle is, if you're paying for a 3-tab roof and that's how it's installed, then you got what you paid for, right? But if you're paying for this upgraded architectural shingle, or maybe you're paying for a class 3 shingle or a class 4 shingle, you know, the top of the line stuff, but the roofer that you're using is using 3-tab for your hip and ridge or using 3-tab for your starter, then you're not getting what you paid for. So if you are shopping around for a roof, those are questions that I recommend that you're asking. You know, hey, does this come with actual starter strips? Does this come with actual hip and ridge that matches the product that I'm putting on the field of my roof, right? So over here, this is just standard for us. All of our packages, if you buy a class 4 roof, you get a class 4 hip and ridge shingle. If you buy just a normal 30-year architectural shingle, you get a hip and ridge cap that's going to match that. You're going to get a starter shingle no matter what roof you buy from us. Honestly, even if we put a 3-tab roof on your house, we're still going to use a starter strip because it's the right way to do it here. So if you guys have any questions, if you're thinking about getting a new roof, if you want to get your current roof inspected, or you think you have any kind of damage, give us a call. We come out, we'll do free inspections. We're happy to answer any questions. We take photos of anything and everything we find, full transparency. All of my guys are great at what they do. I recommend them to anybody. So if there's anything we can help you with, give us a call. We'd be happy to come take a look at it for you.
And just remember, every job that we do here at Near Me Roofing is backed by a $25,000 guarantee through the Good Contractors list.